Right, news coming out of Chelsea. So Conor Gallagher is in advanced talks with Atletico Madrid. Yeah, I think there's a fee around 33 million. I don't know if that's euros or pounds, or I'm not sure, but he's linked with Atletico Madrid. If I was him, I would absolutely be over the moon for him to get Atletico Madrid as a club to go on from Chelsea. I think he's hit the jackpot. He'll be able to see a whole different country, a whole different culture, and it'll be good for him to have memories to look back at his career and say he went abroad and he tried it. And Atletico Madrid are a very, very good team to go to. Now, if I was Chelsea, honestly, I think Chelsea have hit the jackpot there. I know a lot of Chelsea fans want Conor Gallagher to stay, but believe me, if you want to progress, and I think you will progress, I've got high hopes for Chelsea this season. I think they can sneak in the top four. If you want to keep progressing, just honestly accept it's done. He's not good enough to get you to the next level. He's really not. I know he popped up in certain games last year. He had a decent season, but in the long run, Chelsea came sixth last season. They need to be getting better. Conor Gallagher will not give you what you're asking for. He just won't. He's not technically good enough to control football matches, and he is definitely I'd say, West Ham kind of player. So between 8th and 13th in the league, I think that's his level. So that brings me on to my next point. So Atletico Madrid, what does this mean for them? I don't understand this one. I don't get it. Of all the players they could be getting, they're going for Conor Gallagher. I don't think he's going to be the answer for them. Seriously, if I was Chelsea, listen, just drive him to the airport by all means. For them it's fantastic, but for Atletico Madrid, honestly, I cannot see this working. He is not good enough for Atletico Madrid, believe me. And I think he's fooled a lot of people this season with his performances. He had a decent season, but having a decent season in a team that's kind of, I think Chelsea were about 10th for the majority of the season. Then they started to pick it up and get 6th. I don't think Conor Gallagher was a big part of their resurgence. And I think it's kind of, the thing with Conor Gallagher is he's a good goal scorer. Like, he'll get you goals. But to play for the big teams, you have to have more than that. You have to have more than that. And you have to, especially if you're playing as an attacking midfielder or a central midfielder, you have to have more than just popping up some goals. You have to be able to help out the build-up play. The tactics of the game have now become so advanced, and players like Conor Gallagher are not the answer. And I heard someone say to me a couple months ago, they said, "Oh, but Frank Lampard used to get goals from midfield. Conor Gallagher could be our Lampard." First of all, the disrespect on Frank Lampard to compare Conor Gallagher with him is just mind-blowing to me, And Lampard always gets hit with this tag that he was never technically that good, which is absolute bollocks. The technical ability that Lampard had was very underrated. It wasn't quite on a Scholes-Gerrard level. I've got to be honest, it wasn't on that level. But Lampard's technical ability and his ability to control a game was very underrated. So just because Conor Gallagher's getting a couple of goals and it's quite similar to Lampard, first of all, Lampard got way more goals than Conor Gallagher, but anyway, that's disrespecting Frank Lampard. Frank Lampard was twice the player in terms of technical ability and passing a football than Conor Gallagher ever is and ever will be. And that is something which Chelsea need to understand. I know he's a homegrown talent, but that doesn't necessarily mean he is the answer. So if Atletico Madrid do come in with an offer, honestly, accept it, move on, you'll be better for it. You've got Caicedo, who's an unbelievable central midfielder. You've got Dewsbury Hall, I think he's going to surprise a few people at Chelsea. Lavia's there. You've still got Cole Palmer in the 10. So there's a lot of things to look forward to. And even Carney, Chukwuemeka is a good player. So there's a lot of players who can surprise a few people for Chelsea that I feel could overtake Gallagher in terms of ability. And Chelsea brought in a lot of young players. This myth that Chelsea had to sell Conor Gallagher, they have to sell him to balance the books. Haven't Chelsea spent 15, 20 million on more youngsters that we've not heard of? So if they really needed to sell Conor Gallagher, why have they been spending left, right and centre? Why did they buy Dewsbury Hall? They don't need to sell Conor Gallagher. It's all lies, man. And I think leaving Chelsea is the best thing for Chelsea. If he can get Atletico Madrid, it's the best thing for him because what a club to go to. I think for Atletico Madrid, it's a mistake, big time. I don't think he's good enough for them, and it's just it's a bit of a difficult one because I'm looking at it from Chelsea's point of view, and I can really see they're the ones who are really hitting the jackpot with this. You know, they can now get some money and who knows, they could strengthen up front. You know, I think Chelsea are going to surprise a few people, and I'm excited to see what they do this season. But yeah, that's the news. Conor Gallagher is leaving. Well, he's not 100%, but he's probably going to leave Chelsea, and I think it's the best thing for all parties.